This space right here will house a future patio and gazebo. We are going to build that entire patio for you right now, step by step, all in one video. Time to go! First things first, we lay out with our pins and our string line. We want it to be 13 by 11, so we're laying out 13 foot 3 by 11 foot 3 to allow for the forms to go on the outside. Once we do box square and we're happy with it, we spray paint all the way around so we know our dig area. We then remove our pins, remove our string. We're trying a rototiller, it's not really going to do it, so we're going to be hand digging this entire thing. A lot of people have referenced we should get a sod cutter. We're going to have to look into renting one of those next time because the rototiller definitely did not do it. The goal was to turn over the dirt so we could end up using it somewhere else. It didn't work, so we're going to be hauling the dirt and the grass all together out of here entirely and putting it in a dumpster. The reason we're doing this, you never want to pour the concrete on the dirt or on the grass. You want compacted dirt and then you want stone on top. We are doing 2 by 6 inch forms on purpose. We made them 11 foot 3 and 13 so that we have our mark, we overlap, so we'll still have 13 by 11 once it's done, and that sidewalk's going to connect to the existing sidewalk. We have our string line up, which is our heights for which we want to hit all the way around. This will have slight pitch, not a lot of pitch because the gazebo will sit on here. We don't need to see it, but we want slight pitch so it will run. Here is the 3/4 inch stone delivery. This will serve as our base. We left the forms a little bit up, and we're going to put a little bit, about a 1/2 inch of stone underneath the forms, so that we'll still have 2 inch of forms, 2 inch of stone, and 4 inches of concrete. As you know, 2 by 6s are only 5 1/2, 5 3/8. Once we get all that stone trucked in back in here, we take our our plate compactor and we go over it once again. Now we have our wire mesh completely tied off each other. Those are the hand tools we're going to be using for this pour. We have 4,500 pound concrete delivered. It's 3 yards. It is fiber mesh reinforced. So we have the steel wire that's in there and the wire and the fiber mesh reinforcement. We're pouring it, we have our screed, and we're screeding as we go to make sure it is flat. We then are using both a jitterbug and a rake to tamp down all rocks and bring the cream to the surface. Next, we pull out our bull float and we go down. This is the process where we knock down all our humps, bumps, and lumps and get it perfectly flat. We use our magnesium float to go all the way around all the edges that we missed with our bull float and knock all the humps down there. Next, we take our edger down and we put our rough edge. The reason for the rough edge is to get all the rocks down, so it'll be easy to put our finish edge on once we have our broom finish later on. We do this all the way around. It clears some cement off the form. We fill in any holes or voids with extra cream, and we go. That will eventually be rubbed out. We have our speed trowel. It's really just a giant finish trowel on a handle. We're using that to make it perfectly flat and remove any and all lines. Then we take our finished trowel and go around all the edges and anywhere we can reach out, and here you can see there's no more lines, perfectly flat. Now we take our broom with our nylon hairs and we're putting our rough finish on with the broom. The rough finish is entirely for traction. You want it to be anti-slip, and it gives you that nice rough surface while still looking neat. Now we're going to go all the way around with our edger and put our edge on to give it our finish completed look. Now we're going to water every hour until it gets dark to keep the moisture in because it's a very hot day. We don't want it to set too fast and crack. Next, we're making our marks and we're tapping the forms away from the concrete so it will remove it without peeling back any concrete. Those marks are because we're going to cut the big pad in half because it's over 12 foot. It's 13 foot wide, so we're going to split that in half, and we're going to cut our sidewalk in half. Now we're removing all the forms, and it's time to put our string line on those 2 marks. We always use blue. Didn't have blue, had to use red today. It can be a bit messy, but we're careful. We're going to wet cut through not even half of the sidewalk. Then we're going to cut where we had our blind joint, cut through there. So we have 1 cut for the sidewalk, and then 1 cut that separates it entirely, and then 1 cut that puts it in half. Now we cut the big pad. We take our hose and we go on the shower setting, and we completely shower out all the grooves we just cut. Next, it's time to get our topsoil, go around, grate it off, make it look nice and pretty, so then the next thing you can drop the gazebo.